Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be how much energy ... And I'll finish that in a second. So, hope everybody's doing well. It's almost the weekend. It's Friday when this is posting. Relax a little bit. This is one of my key fundamental techniques to teach our brain we're safe. Relax the body so that you can breathe. Why does that work? Because if you're in a relaxed body, your brain has no choice but to perceive that you're safe. If your body's like this, the brain has no choice but to perceive danger. Simple as that. It's a great, easy way to just simply relax, and your brain has no choice but to feel better, safer, more calm. So, how much energy ... are you putting into your unwellness? How much energy are you putting into your pain or your symptoms? How much energy are you putting into this belief that I'm sick? You know, and I hear a lot of people, even in the TMS community and even in my, private group, say, yeah, it was this when I got sick. And I usually try to qualify that. Well, what do you mean by sick? Well, when all my symptoms started. Okay, but do you understand what's causing the symptoms? Yeah, I think so. Perceived danger. The brain creates the symptoms to protect us from this thing that the brain's perceiving as dangerous. So are you truly sick? Or do you just have a brain that's sounding a warning signal based on misinformation and fear? So I like to reframe things like, okay, you're really not sick. The onset of symptoms, it sounds a little less scary than sick, right? Unwellness. Wellness, everybody seems to want that, right? That's why you're watching these videos. Because your goal, it's wellness. But if you sit and look at it on a daily basis, how much time, energy, resources, money are you putting into your unwellness? How much? Are you spending the vast majority of your waking hours trying to fix yourself? Trying to focus on how do I get better? How can I stop this running away from the symptoms? How do I, whether it be the anxiety, the depression, the heavy-duty emotions, the overthinking, the catastrophic thinking, the panic, the anxiety attacks, the panic attacks, the symptoms themselves. How much of your energy are you putting towards your unwellness? Because if it's a great deal of the day, inevitably it's going to be longer before you get out of this feeling of being unwell. Core fundamentals here, folks. Know what causes symptoms. I was trying to fight that. Sorry. Number one, fundamental. Know what causes your symptoms. TMS, perceived danger, pain, or symptoms, right? Number two, does this apply to me? Go to painfreeyou.com/start. On that page, there's a link to a pain test. And there's also, in the body of that page, there's a FIT assessment created by Dr. Schubner and his associates. Answer those questions. The more you can answer affirmatively, the more likely it is TMS. But even just one positive answer means that your brain is creating the symptoms, period. So, first fundamental. Do I know what causes symptoms or pain? Yes. Does this apply to me? Yes. Third fundamental. Is there a solution? Yes. Heck yes. Tons of success stories, not just me, the entire mind-body community. Tons of success. There is a solution. And I share it every single day. Teach your brain you're safe. Perceive danger is the cause. Safety is a cure, right? Call it safety therapy if you want, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, when the brain feels safe, it'll turn off these sensations and symptoms. So that third fundamental is there a cure? Last fundamental, and this one gets tricky, is do I believe I have what it takes to implement these messages of safety to the point where my scared, misinformed brain is going to shut it off? And I know that's a biggie, but it's really important. Because you could believe about TMS. There's a lot of people who say, Dan, I know everything about TMS. I could teach a class in it. Great. Do you know that it applies to you? I think so. Well, where's your doubt? Well, so there's some doubt there sometimes. Is there a solution? Most people say, yeah, there is. I've read the books. I've, seen success stories. So yeah, there must be a solution. But the one that trips up a lot of people is, do I believe that either it applies to me or that I have what it takes to teach my scared, misinformed brain that I'm actually okay? Those are 4 fundamentals that, in my opinion, lay the foundation for you. Without that, it's going to be really tough to teach your scared brain to dial down the symptoms. Why? Because if the brain perceives danger, it's going to likely keep them going, right? Fear and attention fuel symptoms, period. So, how much energy are you putting into your unwellness? The more energy, time, effort, money, treatments, procedures that you're putting into your unwellness, in my opinion, the more you're confirming the brain's perception that there's a problem in the first place. So what's a good way of teaching and showing your own brain that you're okay? By not having this be your main priority. And I know for some folks, when the symptoms are so intense, it makes sense that it's your top priority. But fear, freak out, focus on it. These things do not help us get rid of the symptoms any quicker. The symptoms will leave when they are no longer the priority. So if you're reading, your 7th TMS book, but you've already known about what it was 2 years ago, I'm not sure that's a useful use of your time, productive use of your time. So we don't need to read every single book on mind, body, symptoms, or conditions. We don't. You don't have to watch all my videos either. I got close to 1,500 by now. You don't have to watch them all. It'll take you over 200 hours to watch them all. You don't have to. Start with the recent ones. Go to dansyoutube.com and start with the most recent video and watch a video per day. If you want to scroll back a week or 2 or 3 and pick some that the titles kind of grab your attention, do that. If you're brand new to this concept, sure, do a deep dive. Acquire the knowledge. Because a big part of this safety therapy is knowledge therapy. Because without the knowledge of what's going on, you're missing fundamental 1. Right? So get that knowledge. Understand what's going on and that it applies to you. Know that there's a cure and know that you can apply these concepts, these proven principles, and you can get better too. And I'm blessed because I get to work with, a lot of people in my group coaching program. And every week I see people implementing these processes, these concepts, and every week making progress and getting better and better. People's fear and panic going from way up here to I'm doing better, which is cool. First time I felt better in years. So I get to witness that. So yes, there's absolutely a solution. There's a number of approaches out there. I'm a little bit biased because this is kind of what I've concluded seems to work best, and I got a lot of folks that agree with that. So if you'd like some direct help from me, I'm literally on Zoom 16 times a month, 4 times a week, for hours at a time. So feel free to jump into the group coaching. You get there by going to painfreeyou.com/join. It tells you the days of the week, the times. Those are New York City time zone. If you're not sure if those hours work for wherever you live, just ask Google. Google, what time is it in New York City? Or ask Siri on your phone or whatever speak to search tool you've got on your device. Once you know what time it is in New York City, then you can do the math and say, okay, I'm 5 hours ahead of New York City, so a 1 o'clock session on Wednesday would be 6 p.m. your time, right? Pretty straightforward. You can join anytime, you can cancel anytime. You don't have to wait till the first of the month. It is an automatic renewal, but we even remind you 3 days before to say, hey, it's about time to renew. If you don't want to be here, here's how you go unsubscribe, so you're not charged anything further. So we're as upfront and transparent as possible. We're not hoping you forget about it and get charged month after month. Anyway, that's enough of that. To the point of the topic, how much energy are you putting towards your unwellness? If it's a lot of time, you might want to rethink that. Because honestly, if you know what's causing it, you know it applies to you, why do you need to spend a lot of time thinking about it, worrying about it, fixing it, trying to get rid of it, if, in fact, less is more? Less focus on it, less fear. That's the way to dial this stuff down, and it will eventually fade away. Oftentimes when you least expect it. When you're desperate for it, it's like chasing a cat. Just runs farther and farther away, faster and faster. So, all right, folks. Love you. Hope everybody's doing well. And see you tomorrow. Take care.